Hi, I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me or want to support my channel, my Ko-Fi link is down below. In this video, I want to talk about resistance when you start affirming and what it is and what you need to do about it. So when you start changing your thoughts, all of the old thoughts are going to start coming to the surface. All the reasons why that is not true, that is impossible, I can't think that. That was a big one for me. You can't think that. That's not right. That's wrong to say that to yourself because it's not blah, blah, blah. That's where I realized that the way I needed somebody to explain affirming to me was just to lie to myself. Just lie to yourself. Who cares if it's not true? It doesn't matter if it's not true. Do it anyway. But when you start, especially with things that you feel are bigger, you're going to have more resistance to thinking that thought, because all that stuff from your past and all those old thoughts and all the reasons why and all the things are going to come and be presented to you. This is why I'm like, you don't need to go do shadow work and figure out what your problems are. You're going to know. They're going to come up and you are going to know. And it is your job to reject them, to keep telling yourself the new thought, no matter what your brain wants to throw at you. And I know it's very easy to get caught up in what your brain is telling you and be like, yeah, that's true, so it doesn't work or whatever, and go back to your old train of thinking. This is where you have to persist. You have to remember what you're doing, why you're doing it, how this works, and you go back to your affirmations, back to your affirmations, back to your affirmations, back to your affirmations. From a neuroscience perspective, from a perspective of your brain has neural pathways. You create your neural pathways basically with repetition. So you have your set in neural pathways of how your brain is working. So let's take money. It has its neural pathways about how you think about money. So when you think about money, your thoughts go along those neural pathways about the beliefs and the things that you think about money, right? So when you start to think different thoughts about money, your brain's like, this doesn't fit here. So like, what are we doing? What's happening here? And you start to create a new neural pathway. That is what neuroplasticity is. This is why you can change your thoughts and you can change your beliefs, because your brain is always changing if you are feeding it different information. So when you start telling yourself, let's say you're like, I never have money, is kind of your default, and you start telling yourself, I'm a millionaire, your brain's like, what? Huh? This also, when you are first starting out and you do not have a lot of proof that what you are thinking about is what is pushing out and what you are experiencing, that's where all the like, this doesn't work, is this working, am I doing it right? Because you don't have, again, the neural pathways to support that you know that this works and you know what you're doing and all of that stuff. But as you continue to affirm and you continue to think the new way, I'm a millionaire, 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 you start to create a new neural pathway. The more time you spend thinking that, the old neural pathway is not going to be used as much. And then the new one will eventually take its place. That is why you are doing this, is to create a new neural pathway in your brain, which is what I was talking about a few videos ago for me with all the robotic affirming I've done in the past year, a little over a year, has completely changed my brain. And now the neural pathways that are being used are the ones in alignment, if you would say, with my affirmations that I was saying last year, right? And when random old things come, it's just like, oh, it's not like every thought I have is from that same perspective. So the resistance, people are like, it's your ego, and your ego is like your brain's just trying to keep you safe. I don't see it that way. I really don't. Your brain is trying to keep you what's unfamiliar. What you are familiar with is not necessarily safe. Take people who have a cycle of being in abusive relationships. Like every relationship they've ever been in has been like not healthy. That's not safe. Your brain isn't trying to keep you safe by keeping you feeling comfortable being with people who treat you like garbage. That's not safe. It's familiar. That's what you're used to. That's what you expect. That's what feels normal to you. When somebody treats you with respect and with love and with kindness, it feels fucking weird. Just like when you start affirming something different, it feels weird. You are not used to thinking the thoughts of I have money, or people accept me for who I am, or I'm always chosen, or my SP loves me, or whatever it is. I love my life. My go-to was I hate my life. Saying I love my life was extremely uncomfortable at first. I did not believe it. I did not have any reason to say that to myself. I couldn't come up with any reasons. Why would you say that to yourself? Because I'm fucking choosing to. Believing and knowing that if I could say it to myself enough, it would become my reality. It would become my default way of thinking, and I would experience things in my physical world to prove to me that that is true. That is why I am so big on the robotic of affirming. If you are, as much as you can, robotically telling yourself that things are the way you want them to be, you are spending less time in that old state of consciousness, that old reality, that old neural pathway, that old story, the old thoughts, the whatever, and focusing on something different. And that is the key, especially in the beginning. The more you do it, the more you prove it to yourself, the more you're comfortable with it, your way of doing it will kind of evolve. But as a starting point of like, how do I get through the resistance? How do I get through all these negative thoughts? What do I do with them? You have a couple affirmations that when you start to think that shit, you correct yourself and go, nope, this is what's true now. This is what's true now. This is what's true now. This is why people are talking about it being delusional. You need to be delusional. If you look up the definition of delusional, it is to tell yourself something that is not true. You're delusional because you're telling yourself something that is not true. Here is my problem with that. If you know, or you're at least willing to try it because you deep down believe that what I am telling you has some merit to it. If you know, and I know, that what I think will be mirrored back to me and will be proven to me to be true, is it delusional to tell myself what I want instead of what's currently true? Is that a bad thing? I've been talking with another creator on TikTok, and they're like, I don't like calling it delusional. I like to call it being mystical. And I actually really like that. I don't like the idea of going around and just telling myself I'm delusional. Because, like, who knows what that's going to manifest? That doesn't seem, because I don't know what I truly think about being delusional. Because I've always thought it was kind of weird to say that. That's where being told just to lie to yourself felt better to me. But when you know that how you think influences your physical world, is it wrong to think in the way that you want things to be? No, it's not. But you are not used to doing it. Your brain doesn't accept it. You don't think it's going to work. All of that shit. And that is why you have to keep going. I would definitely throw in some affirmations of like, this always works for me. I know exactly what I'm doing. My main manifesting affirmation was I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it, because the idea of being a master manifester did not cover enough for me to feel comfortable with it. And that comes from my dog grooming days. I've mentioned before that I was a nationally certified master dog groomer. And in order to have that title, there was a lot of shit about dog grooming that I did not have to know or understand. So for me, being like, I'm a master at manifesting was like, I kind of know some shit about manifesting. I know more than most people, but so that was where I came up with the affirmation. I know everything there is to know about it, and I fully understand it. And again, repeating, am I doing this right? Now I fully understand manifesting. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I understand this. This is easy. And again, that the proof of that had to be shown to me, because that's how this works about anything that you're thinking about. So yeah, when it comes to the resistance and questioning yourself, again, The questioning yourself is part of the resistance. Wondering if it's working is part of the resistance. That's also keeping you out of the state that you want to be in, right? If you are in the state of knowing that you have what you want is yours, you're a millionaire, you're in the relationship, you're not questioning if it's working. That was something that Abdullah was teaching Neville when when Abdullah first taught Neville Goddard how to manifest. Neville wanted to go to Barbados. The big thing that Abdullah told him is, you are in Barbados. If you are in Barbados, you are not worried about how you got there. And that is the key, is to continuously put yourself back where you want to be, meaning that you ignore all that shit. I know it sucks. I know it sounds really enticing to be like, yep, that's the one reason why it won't work for me. And that is when you have to remind yourself that all that shit, all those reasons, all that stuff are just circumstances, and your circumstances don't matter because you can override them by choosing to think something else. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions and want me to elaborate more on this topic. Leave them in the comments below. If you haven't checked out Create Manifestation Lifestyle already, check that out. The link is down below. It's here on YouTube. And be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Love and light.